Happy Wednesday, everyone. So every Wednesday we get together, we chat about nutrition and lifestyle and health, and we get to share a lot. So you can hear my little roosters in my backyard. The Caribbean island ambiance, that's what I call it now. So if you keep hearing the rooster, it's normal. If you keep hearing, Allô François, hey Rasha, if you keep hearing the birds, it's normal. So just for those who are showing up today and who will listen the video, I'm Claudine. I'm a nutrition and productivity coach. I help busy entrepreneurs and executives around the world to boost their productivity through health and nutrition. We are so overwhelmed by our lifestyle and stress, lack of sleep, busy schedules that sometimes we just don't know how to prioritize and focus on our health anymore. And so this is what I'm passionate about. I love helping you guys getting a momentum in terms of shifting how to be more productive and performant, but keeping in focus your health, which is the most important thing when we want to reach our full potential, right? I'm just going to put a little bit more light here. So I wanted to talk about cravings today. I love to call it the cookie monster, but in reality, they're the cravings. So why do we have the cravings? Why do we end up at the end of the day wanting to eat everything in the cupboards, in the fridge, after a hard work day or after a really busy day? So today I wanted to address that because it's an important topic. There are things you can do about it. So we'll just dig right into it. I think he agrees with me. And we will just find solutions for you. Solutions that you can put into application in your daily life, despite the fact that you're busy, despite the fact that you don't have the best nutrition or the best lifestyle, right? So basically, like I said, the cookie monster, Rasha, not eating enough throughout the day. Yeah, absolutely. Not eating enough throughout the day actually causes those cravings. They're the major cause of the cravings, but there are other factors that I'll talk about. And they are basically stacking one on top of each other, creating this urge to eat at one point because your body cannot handle it anymore. And it needs to fuel on something. It needs to fuel on energy to sustain your productivity and performance level, right? And all our organs, the brain, everything functions out of that energy that you give your body throughout the day. So I'll go more into depth with these different things that you can do. And fatigue, obviously, yes. So food cravings are a major roadblock for people trying to maintain a healthy weight or just a healthy lifestyle in general and switch to a more healthful diet. So it could be really aggravating the situation if you constantly have those cravings showing up in your day, not understanding why you have these cravings and what to do about it, right? So what causes the food cravings? Basically, just to be clear, a food craving is an intense desire to eat many foods independently of what they are. We call it non-selective craving, or very specific foods, which we call selective craving. And this is what you really want to understand. Why am I craving one specific food, which is a really good tip into what's lacking in your nutrition, or why am I just wanting to eat everything, not just one thing? And so that will also give you a big insight on what's lacking in your nutrition and health, okay? Rasha, she says fatigue and stress, absolutely, those are causes as well. And François says the craving is often due to anxiety attacks. Some people eat their emotions, that's absolutely right. Some people go into their emotions, they're being triggered by their emotions, creating a lot of need for soothing themselves into food, absolutely. Not eating enough protein, Rasha, and fibers, absolutely, you're right on. Who is your coach, Rasha? So the food cravings are caused by a region in our brain that's responsible for memory, pleasure, and reward. Everything goes through this. And because there's a need to eat, there's also pleasure out of eating. There's a certain sense of fulfillment after eating, satisfaction cue basically. And I was like, you my coach. Yes, I am. And so I really want you to understand that cravings and everything that pushes us to eat and stop eating is regulated by hormones that are regulated in our brain, basically. And one of the hormones responsible for managing those cravings is called leptin. The other one is serotonin. And the third one would be endorphins. Endorphins are working differently from leptin and serotonin in the direct way that we crave food, in that endorphins is more after we eat. We kind of get addicted to the feeling, and so we call it more of an addiction hormone. And so I'm not going to go into this, but this is also what triggers cycles of emotional eating basically. But today I want to address more the leptin and the serotonin so that you understand then practically what you can do during your day to prevent those imbalances of your hormones that are creating and causing the cravings, right? So the leptin is a hormone that's being secreted by our fat cells. So the more fat cells I have, the more leptin I produce, and the less the fat cells that I have, less body fat that I have, less leptin I will produce. And leptin is actually good because it tells your body we're not hungry anymore. So it suppresses hunger. And then now you're going to tell me, but I'm overweight or I'm obese and I'm constantly eating. I want to eat. This is because at a certain point, same thing with insulin and diabetic people, for example, at a certain point, your body becomes accustomed and non-sensitive to the effect of that hormone. It's like saturated. It's too much, and so it's not responding to it anymore. And the reason behind that is also there's a survival backup mode for your body, right? Because if you have a lot of body fat, and so you're producing a lot of leptin, your body at one point wouldn't receive hunger cues anymore, right? It would constantly be suppressed, so you wouldn't feel hungry all the time. Which some people will be like, I need this, but your body is backing you up and it's making sure that you can thrive and you can go and grow and you can survive. And so it knows that it needs a certain hunger cue to keep you alive. And there's also all that saturation that happens. So your body is just not responsive to it anymore. And so you keep eating and eating and eating, not responding to your own hormones that are actually in place to tell you, okay, I'm not hungry anymore. That's enough, and helps you regulate your body weight. Make sense? On the flip side, if you are in a weight loss or fat loss process, for example, you're losing body fat, which means you're producing less and less leptin, which is not a bad thing per se, but you're becoming hungrier, which could be kind of counterproductive when you're trying to maintain that weight loss or that fat loss towards your healthy weight, right? So it could be really, really tricky. And that happens all the time in my coachings. People are just, Chloe, I'm so hungry. But not only you're activating your muscles and your metabolism, because in complement with that, you're actually working out, you're being more active, you get back into liking to move more, but also your body is sending you a signal that you're more hungry. And so it could be really, really tough. And this is why you need motivation and a support system to make you understand that everything's normal. We just need to adapt. And it's normal also that you can eat more to your healthier weight in your weight loss process. All right. So leptin, just to sum it up, because I've talked a lot, leptin is responsible to suppress your hunger cue. So it tells your body we're done. We don't need to eat anymore. If your body has more body fat, it produces more leptin because your body cells are responsible for producing the leptin. At a certain level, towards obesity, your body is saturated and is not responsive to your leptin anymore. And so you're still hungry. and you're having trouble not being hungry anymore. If you're in a weight loss process and you're losing body fat, your body is producing less leptin, because you have less body cells that are responsible for producing leptin, and so you become hungrier because your hunger is less suppressed. Make sense? Good. And then Rasha says, apples help me know whether I'm hungry or not when I'm binging. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Because you actually try to satisfy a cue, and you will know right away. And most of the time, Rasha, also is we think we're hungry. Let's say we've eaten a lot and we can't understand why we're still hungry. Not only there's the hormonal part to it, but there's also the water part, which I'll address in the solutions part. Because hunger and thirst are very similar in the cues that they send you. So sometimes you feel like you're hungry, but you're actually very, very thirsty. Serotonin is just also activating your reward system. And so it will tell you if you're craving something and if you need something, okay? Other causes to cravings are emotions. Emotions can trigger, like I said, through serotonin, can trigger, and endorphins, can trigger the need to eat to soothe yourself and get into a comfort zone and really find comfort in foods. Pregnancy, definitely, I can testify from that. Pregnancy will also ask your body to eat certain food and more food, so you'll have cravings depending on what your body needs, and also nutrient deficiency. So if your body is lacking of certain vitamins and minerals, it will tell you through taste and what it really needs. It will give you cues of specific things. You're going to be craving sweets. You're going to be craving salty things. You're going to be craving meat. You're going to be craving fruits. So it will send you cues, and so it will trigger certain images of foods in your brain. Oh, this is what I really, really feel like eating. And sometimes it will be an indication that you need to eat certain vitamins and minerals from certain foods in order to help your body get rid of those deficiencies. So your body is a beautiful machine, basically telling you what it needs and what it doesn't need. And so you have to be more in tune, and you have to be listening to what it needs, because it's really smart and it's just simply showing you what's lacking, what we need more of, what we need less of. All right? So what are the solutions basically towards managing the cravings if they're completely out of control? Because sometimes you're going to have cravings, and that's fine. You can just respond to them and deal with them spontaneously. However, if they're recurrent and it happens on a very frequent basis and you have no idea what's going on and it's getting out of control and it's affecting your health and it's impacting your weight, you need to do something about it, and you need to be more in tune and ask yourself, okay, what's happening with my body and what is it asking for? So the solutions is basically, the number one solution in my opinion is avoiding hunger. The biggest cravings we're going to have is at the end of the day. And that is a result of not eating enough in terms of calories and energy throughout the day, and your body at the end of the day is just asking for more because you haven't fulfilled or met its minimum needs that it needs in by the end of the day, basically. And so the major cravings that we're going to see appearing during the day would be by the end of the day. That's why I call it the cookie monster, because you just come back home or you're still at the office and you just go across the street and buy like this I can't say this word, but this big bag of food, and you're just going to eat it all at the office. Or you get back home, you open the fridge, and whatever is there, you're just going to start eating it, right? So this is why I call it the cookie monster, and I think it's a really good image to remember that if you feel or find yourself in that situation, it's a cue that you're not eating enough throughout the day. All right? So that could be lack of energy or calorie. Poor distribution also of your intakes throughout the day. If you wait 5, 6, 7, 8 hours sometimes between your meals. That could be too long. Every body is unique. Every body is different. And so you just need to get to know more how your metabolism works and how your body needs energy and fuel on energy efficiently throughout the day. But most likely, every body will instinctively need to eat frequently light meals that are well balanced with the right nutrients. So you can't just be eating protein, or you can't avoid fat constantly, or you can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Just let me know. I don't know. Everything is connected here. Can you hear me now? I'll keep going. Just let me know if you can hear me. And so okay, perfect. Good. What I was saying is basically you can't just focus on one type of food or one type of source of energy. Basically, all proteins and carbs and fats are working together in order to optimize your energy level. And I keep telling you guys this all the time, and it's really important. Even my rooster is in agreement with me, see? So you need those 3 sources of energy, and so you need to be aware where to get them in the food, and you eat them frequently throughout the day, together or separately, but frequently, so that you optimize your energy level. All right? Yeah, so that's about avoiding hunger. So you have to be strategic with your food. Doesn't matter if you're eating in a cafe, restaurant, if you have your lunch bags, cafeteria, it doesn't matter. Just make smart choices. This is a decision that you always have the power to make. And so nobody can take this away from you. But it has to come from you, and it has to come from deciding that this is what you want. You can do this. The other solution is also reducing your stress level. Remember, I said there are cravings that are triggered by emotions, and stress is something that triggers a lot of emotions in your body. And people will stress eat, basically. They will eat their stress to feel better or to soothe themselves. And it's also a way of procrastinating and stop yourself from whatever you're doing. I'm busy. I'm eating. I'm busy. I'm eating. And that's just because your body and mind can't deal with the stress anymore. And it's looking for situations or excuses to get out of these stressful situations and give yourself a break, basically. So if you haven't seen it that way I'm telling you, this is the unconscious way of coping with stress. Hi, Robert. So the managing your stress would be a very, very efficient way of avoiding cravings because of the emotional eating that comes out of it. And also the third solution that I want to suggest to you is drinking plenty of water. As I mentioned a bit earlier, hunger and thirst have very, very similar cues. So when you think you're super hungry, you eat. And all of a sudden you're like, hey, why am I not satisfied yet? This is crazy. I've eaten 3 snacks in a row. I've eaten 2 lunches in a row. What's happening? Well, basically, what's happening is that you're not hungry, you're thirsty. So the first thing you want to do is when you feel hungry and you know that you've eaten your last meal or snack just a few hours ago and it can't be that, start drinking water and see how you feel. Give yourself maybe a 5 minutes lap and see how you're feeling. And most of the time, that's just it. You were thirsty, because this is something else that we neglect throughout the day, drinking water. We're too busy to drink water. We're too busy to go to the bathroom, right? We don't have time. We have meetings. We have deadlines. Like, no joke, we can't go to the bathroom. But your body is suffering a lot from that. And so thirst and hunger have very similar cues, and most likely you're going to be thirsty before you're hungry if you're eating properly during the day, all right? And I want to just warn you and ask you to be careful. I'm not saying to drink water instead of eating. I'm saying if your nutrition seems to be proper and optimal during the day and you don't understand why you're so hungry, this could be the cause, because you need to drink more water. And also, finally, the fourth solution I'm suggesting to you is getting enough sleep. Sleep plays a major role in our hormonal balance and helps regulating all of them, the leptin, serotonin, endorphins, and it helps regulate our weight basically. And obviously while we're sleeping, we're recovering from the day. It helps stress management. So it's really important to address sleep as well. And this is a topic that I'm really passionate about. Stress and sleep, they are major players in our health, especially if you're a high achieving, hyper performing individual. You are submitted to so much stress and sleep deprivation, and it plays bigger roles than you can even imagine in your health and in your life at the moment. And so address that and look into how could you get more sleep, and also how can you get more recovering high quality sleep. That's important. So there you go. Those are my four solutions to better manage cravings. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you so much for everybody who showed up, who commented. I'm very, very happy. If you look and if you watch the video afterwards, feel free to send me more comments. I'm always very happy to answer them. And I will see you next week. All right, bye. Mwah.